Hello everyone, just coming here and Happy New Year! Wait, yeah, I'm a bit late as always, but nothing's gonna stop me from talking about Dark Deception. Again, you guys are probably starting to realize how much I love this game. I mean, I don't use the term favorite game of all time lightly. As for news, Chapter 4 got delayed, the mobile port also got delayed, and there's gonna be plushies? Holy shit! Oh boy, how could this get any better? Oh my god! So yeah, a lot of exciting stuff. I just really adore Dark Deception. It's such a good game. But that doesn't mean it's perfect. There's stuff I'd really like to see added in this game, and that's why I made this video. Definitely not because I'm running out of ideas. This has to be the worst intro I've ever done so far in this godforsaken Dark Deception videos. Anyways, back on track. These picks range from minor to major additions to this game to make it, at least in my opinion, 10 times better. Also, just like the title says, these are not in a particular order, and Glowstick, if you're watching this, then could you add them? Maybe? Please? Anyways, with all that said, let's get started. For number 1, we have hard mode. Before you start running a comment like, hard mode is gonna be a thing when Chapter 5 gets released, idiot. First, that's uncalled for. And second, I'm not talking about hard mode in and of itself. I'm talking about what I think it could contain. And besides, Chapter 5 hasn't come out yet, so let's get theorizing. According to Glowstick, hard mode is most likely gonna be unlocked after with the main game. They've also mentioned some sort of New Game Plus mode, which could be the official name for hard mode, but I digress. As for what this mode could contain, I have a solid guess. The enemies will be a bit faster and there won't be any chase teams. There could also be traps and boss battles added to the beginning levels to make them a bit spicier. However, since we're getting a bit too into the theory realm, I'm just gonna finish off this segment by saying that a New Game Plus or hard mode would be a really cool inclusion and would definitely add a lot of replay value to the game. This one is pretty obvious, but still very important.
Let's go! Let's go! Come on, take me. Come on, let's go. No! Oh, I panicked, dude. I know. What? There was no bad duck stat whatsoever. What the heck just happened?
Whoa! Okay, the game crashed. How does a bug like this get through? That's my question. What the heck? I literally... Oh my gosh. Oh no, I hit resume. No! Quit. What did I do? I can't move. I can't move. I bugged the game. I bugged the game. I gotta close it again.
Do I have to say more? Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think that Dark Deception is a buggy, unplayable mess. In fact, a lot of the major glitches that were present in chapters 2 and 3 were fixed not too long after the initial release. But the thing is that some bugs are still present, and some of them are really annoying, like, come on! So, what do I think? After chapter 5 gets released, Glowstick is gonna add a major update to the game, fixing most, if not all, the bugs that have been found. That will be awesome and would definitely improve the game a lot. Saying that Dark Deception is a good looking game would be underestimating just how beautiful it really is. But unfortunately, with all the monsters chasing you, there is little to no time to appreciate just how great the lighting and the texture work and just the overall detail is in this game. So what if we could explore the levels without having to collect the shards or get chased by any monsters? Of course, we wouldn't be ranked in this mode. It will just be a nice way to explore and just run around the wacky and cleverly designed locations this game has to offer. Yeah, it wouldn't be anything remarkable, but it will be a cool feature nonetheless. Definitely something I'd appreciate. Do you hear that buzzing sound? That indicates that the enemies are, in fact, stunned, and when the buzzing stops, the player knows that the monsters aren't stunned anymore. That is a really useful feature, but well limited to the stun orb. Now, some people will say that having 2 auto cues at once would be kinda hectic, so how about having visual cues? Thanks to Angelo for letting me use some footage of his own video about this topic, by the way. As you can see, it could be an icon on the top right of the tablet, with the circle on meter slowly depleting, similar to how the power icons act. No matter how they'll handle it, having a visual or audio effect for the countdown of the bonus/reveal shard and the Primal Fear power would be really beneficial for both new and old players alike. Chapter 3 introduced brand new SFM looking cutscenes, which are honestly pretty cool. Most players wouldn't skip them the first time playing because they have an important role in the story, and also because it's impossible to do so. Now, like I said, they are really cool, and I unironically find myself imitating Malek's voice out loud because, well, that's not weird at all. But honestly, there are just so many times they can be watched until they become annoying and a bit of a pace breaker. So what's the solution? It's straightforward actually. Instead of having them being played in-game, they could have them rendered in an MP4 video format, or something like that. Otherwise, they could just use the method that the Joy of Creation did, and let you skip the cutscenes. Wait a minute. This is something I wish they'll fix before chapter 4 comes out, because it's obvious that we'll get more cutscenes and interactions with the monsters, so I really hope that they've already planned this. I don't really have anything else to say. Skippable cutscenes will just make the game a bit more enjoyable. Many people agree that the manor in Deadly Decadence is better than the Heads Maze, or at least I think they do, haven't fact checked yet. The point is that many people probably want to play the manor without having to go through the Heads Maze every single time. The bosses introduced in chapter 3 are great fun, but people don't want to waste 20 minutes of their lives just to replay that part of the level. The ability to replay any part of the level would be really amazing, because not only would the player be able to just play the favorite part of the level without having to get through the bad parts first, but it would also make capturing footage way easier. Now, to make things fair, you wanna get ranked in this mode, obviously, but how's it gonna work exactly? It's fairly simple. When you go to the replay section on the main menu and select this stage, inside the window that pops up saying, "Are you sure you want to play this level?" there would be a third option being "Start from a section" or something like that, and you would be able to start from any part of the level you would choose. This is something I really want to see added because it would make replaying a specific part of the level that much more convenient. Horror games and VR go really well together. I think you know where I'm going with this. PlayStation VR has been confirmed to be a thing, and they've even said that VR support for PC will also be a thing. But it's not out yet, so it's on this list. I don't have that much to say, honestly. I mean, you can still technically VR the game, but it's just a fake screen, so full VR support will be really cool. Also, Labo VR for the Switch will be really cool too. So Vince, if you're watching this, then please don't just repeat the same joke twice. Whatever. Yeah, Labo VR is like the only reason why I made this segment. Moving on. If you're a Dark Deception fan, it's really likely you've watched this video made by Angelo about community challenges. Now, I like a good challenge. I mean, I've gotten S ranks on all the levels so far at least, and some of the challenges in that video are really creative. But you know what would be really cool? To have such challenges in the game itself. This is what I think. When you beat story mode, you'll unlock a challenges option in the menu. Clicking that, you'd be brought up to another menu showing the levels. Click on one of them would show the different challenges for each one. When you click on one of the challenges, you would have a difficulty setting confirmation, which would basically be like, "Hey, you're in easy mode, are you sure you want to proceed?" And the player would basically be able to change difficulty from there if needed. Such challenges could be no tablet, no powers, and other stuff I've put on screen right now. You can pause the video to read them all if you want to. Overall, challenges would add a ton of replayability to Dark Deception, and just like all of my picks for this video, would be something I'd really appreciate. This is it. So far, all these picks could have been a part of a patch or something, but not these last two. They could very well be DLC for Dark Deception. No, I'm not over-exaggerating. This one especially is so out there and bizarre, it's really unlikely that we'll see something like it. A level creator. Now, hold on for a moment. I'm not asking for something really complex and elaborate like Dark Deception Maker or something. Although, now that I really think about it, that will be a really cool game, but no. I'm not asking for something complicated. You would have various types of tiles from which you can make a maze. You can also choose the themes of said maze, and you would also be able to place the short swords anywhere you want. The same applies to monsters. There can be teleporters, which will put you to a different part of the level, and traps to make things more interesting. You could also add multiple floors, but I really think they would cap it to like 2 floors per maze, to make sure that the game wouldn't crash. You will be able to choose the spots where the bonus shot and the stun orb can spawn, and also be able to add a name and draw an icon for the level. Once you're satisfied with your stage, you can test it, save it, and then play it anytime you want. You'll also be able to upload it online for everyone to enjoy, but of course, you'll have to beat it beforehand to basically prove that it's possible. Not too complicated, right? Well, I hope so anyways. To be honest though, this would be way too much for a simple update, so I consider it being a downloadable content or even its own game, but I digress. Before we get into my final pick, let's go over some honorable mentions. Number 1 is control support. I know there are a few people asking for this, but honestly, I don't think it's a necessary feature to add. It would be neat, don't get me wrong, just not something I'll really be excited for, and that's why it's an honorable mention. And 2, enemy gallery. It would be a menu in the extras where you would be able to see the monsters and the animations up close. The reason it's not on the list is because you can already sort of do the same thing with the third-party software, so it's not something really necessary. But still, Despite it being an honorable mention, I'd still love to see something like it being added to Dark Deception. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Even though these are no particular order. Number 10 is... drumroll please! Multiplayer!
Now that's just pathetic, don't you think?
Let's be honest, a multiplayer mode will be really cool. But what could it be? Well, here's my theory. Even though it's obvious that the console versions will get local multiplayer as like an exclusive feature or something, we're gonna be looking at how the online multiplayer could work. There are gonna be 4 modes. The first one is co-op. It'll basically be the same as the main game, but you're with other people and the monsters are way tougher. You'll have to work together with your teammates in order to collect all the shards in the area and escape. If a player gets caught by a monster, she gets knocked out. If other players, however, happen to find a knocked out player, they will be able to heal him and he'll get back in action. Healing takes a long time as well, so there is a risk-reward system in place. The second mode is Versus. It's the same as co-op but competitive. Each player has 3 lives and the one who has the most shards at the end wins. Keep in mind that I'm talking about total shards, not in-maze shards. So stuff like time, lives lost, bonus shards, normal shards and secrets collected will be counted as well. The third mode will be Team Versus. I couldn't think of a better name. The same thing as Versus, but team-based. Players will be separated into 2 or 4 teams, and the team who has the most total amount of shards at the end wins. The mechanic of players healing knocked out teammates from co-op also returns, meaning that 3 lives per player is no longer a thing in this mode. Last but not least, we have Dead by Daylight in Survivors vs Monsters. There will be 2 teams. The first team are the survivors and the second team are the monsters. The survivors must collect all the soul shards in the maze and escape, while the monsters must kill all the survivors, utilizing the powers of each monster they'll be selected to be. Speaking of, depending to what mage/map is selected, the players who are in Team Monsters will be assigned to the corresponding monster. I could go more in depth, but I think you get the idea. A multiplayer mode Dark Deception would be amazing. It would definitely make it 5 billion times more replayable. Or, you know, they could make the multiplayer its own game. That could be a thing too, I guess. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video and I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, be sure to click that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this one. You can also follow me on Twitter where I post stuff you might be interested in. Anyways, I better get going before Hasu notices I'm sagging off.
NANI?!